Ali. First, it's a pleasure to have you here. And we want to understand more about your expansion plan. So we understand that you're in Rwanda first. So why Rwanda specifically? Well, it definitely is leading within the healthcare market and progressive minister and so on. But can you tell us more about this? And the other thing from the audience is that we actually have one of the audience from Brazil. And coming from very far away, we need to answer the question. So they want to know if you're actually expanding to Brazil.
Diverse audience.
And South America. So they want to know if you're going to Brazil too.
First on Rwanda. Our mission is to make healthcare accessible, affordable, put it in the hands of every human being on earth. We started with one of the richest countries in the world, where we're based, United Kingdom. The natural thing is, if you think about this, is you go to your neighboring country next door, right? Or to somewhere close to you. The reality is there was very little we could learn by going to France or even coming to the United States next, right? If you really want to do this right, you need to say, okay, where is somewhere that is almost diametrically opposite? So we can go there and we can learn from that. At any early stage of any company, you're about extreme experimentations. You're trying to learn. That's what you're trying to do. So we picked Rwanda because it's a small country. It's got a contained population. It's from a national income is among the poorest countries in the world. But from governance is actually among the best in the world, right? It just does, His Excellency President Kagame does a phenomenal job in managing the country. So it was an easy choice. And Rwanda taught us a lot. Look, we just signed, one of the highlights of Babylon is we just signed a deal with the government of Rwanda to provide a 10-year deal to provide digital first, universal primary care to the entire nation. How many countries in the world have universal primary care? And Rwanda has that. And the reason they could do that is because we could reduce the prices to $1 almost per consultation, right? If you just think about this, right? I mean, even in Rwanda, this is in a few dollars of consultation, we could reduce it to that. And what we learned in how to do that in Rwanda had a direct effect in what we could do in reducing the prices in UK. So that's why we went to Rwanda. Now, almost everywhere else is somewhere in between in terms of wealth or infrastructure or others. But you can't go everywhere all the time. The fastest way to lose your shirt, doesn't matter how much money you have, is to try and do everything at the same time. For us, really the key now, next to establish ourselves for the next 2 years, is United States of America. That's where all our focus is. We're not looking at the rest of Europe as such. We are gently expanding in other places, but our serious focus is in the United States. But in Brazil, in particular, we'll have a significant announcement, hopefully, to make shortly on Brazil. Brazil is a country we like a lot. It's really the largest, everybody knows, it's half of Latin America. And you're really not in Latin America if you're not in Brazil. So if you want to go somewhere of size, scale, and a country that needs our work and is ready for us, is Brazil. So we'll make an announcement on Brazil shortly.
Thank you, Ali. And one quick question, if you might share. We do have to move on to the next section, but Matthew actually just threw that, being the veteran interviewer. One question that pops into mind is, what are you doing with the language barriers of going to different countries? How are you translating the technology?
So our technology, one of the great things about AI is that also translation, AI can do a lot in translation too. So we have one of the papers that we published, for those who are interested, talks about machine-to-machine translation. It's one of the fundamental pieces of work we had to do in order to be able to translate from many languages to many languages. And that allows us to do very fast translation. And that only gets you so much. I mean, that gets you 80% of the way there for our stack of technology, which is quite a lot. But then we need to really get down dirty with humans to make sure we get the colloquial parts right, to get the details right. But look, we just launched with Prudential in 11 Southeast Asian countries in 15 different languages, I believe. And we did all of that in a space of 18 months.
Wow.
And in United States, we did it in Spanish and in American when we launched. So, it's a lot of work to do.
That's fascinating.
And
it's good to hear that. I realize it's American and English are two completely different languages.
It is. And that's very true. And Matthew, we got scars to show for it. Because the very first thing they did, and it's one of the lessons, look, every entrepreneur, and we're not doing this here, talks about their successes. The reality is for every one success you have 5 failures, 2 of which are embarrassingly bad, right? And one of the things was, for instance, when we tried to do the American English, we got an English men and women to do American English. And the first version was just bad, right? It took us too long. We did it badly. We learned from it. We moved on. At some stage, we have to do a conversation about all the things we did badly in our life in Babylon. Far too many entrepreneurs talk about all the amazing things they do. When I'm with them, I often feel really inadequate because I never hear about their failures. The reality is for every one good thing you do 2 things badly. And it's just reality of life. The problem is not the mistakes you make. The problem is the reality is entrepreneurs should lose, but they should learn from that loss. We don't lose, we learn, right? And move on. Right.
And certainly a lot to learn from that experience, and thanks for bringing that up.